I want to share with you my experience couch surfing. So I've done a lot of couch surfing. So I actually started, how I found this was I was in Spain and I was leaving my au pair family that I thought was crazy. And I was looking for cheap accommodation, and looking for cheap accommodation, I found this accommodation, which is basically free. So I actually went to somebody's house, and his name is Sergio in Madrid. Usually people will want to host you maybe 2 days, 3 days the most, because it's a lot of work hosting somebody. So I had nowhere to go, so I actually did couch crashing. So that was my experience, my first time couch crashing. I stayed at his house for 2 weeks. Then I met up with friends. At the end of my trip in Spain, I saw him again. In the following year, I went to Spain and I stayed at his friend's house. I was couch surfing, but there was no host. It was basically an empty house. This guy was a pilot and he was traveling around, so I stayed at this house. I also saw him last year when I was in New York. He so happened to be there. So that was really cool. So now he's not a couch surfing host, and he's actually a friend. So what's really cool is you can actually bond with people and they become your friends. When I was with another au pair family in northern Spain, I was in Cabrils and I did it with a nice couple. So the guy was a teacher, she was a psychologist, and so this just shows you that couch surfing, it doesn't mean that you're poor or you have no money. It's people who are open-minded, people who want to hear about travel stories, people who just like to host, you know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that, oh, you have no money. You could join a group for sailing and you can go sailing with somebody. You can have more of a luxurious experience. Just depends, right? So basically the thing is, people are open-minded. So they picked me up from the camp. I was at this camp with this family, and they took me to their house. They made me a bed. They put like a lamb on it. It was like so cute, like a stuffed animal. We went to their sister's house, and then we had breakfast, and it was like really nice. The guy, I remember he liked like Ella Fitzgerald, so there's like that nice jazz, you know, and it was like really cool because like you saw their home. It was very like creative and artistic, and what I love about couch surfing is that you have local, authentic experiences. So these experiences are experiences that you're not going to get if you stayed at a hostel or you stayed at a hotel, because you're actually immersing yourself in. Where else have I done it? Well, I did it in Paris. I did it first in Paris with a couple, and it was really cool because they had this house. So we went to a bar one night. We're drinking wine and she decides to make a quiche at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I liked their apartment because the shutters were very rustic and they were really old, so there was a lot of character. And from there you could see the courtyard, and then they started playing this old like French disco music, and it was just so cool because those were experiences, like I said, you can't find that in a hotel or at a hostel or anything like that. I was at a video editor's house. He's into filmmaking in Paris, and I found him because I was supposed to go to a hotel, but the reservation didn't go through, so I joined an emergency Paris couch surfing group where it's like you have 72 hours or less and you need to find a place. So I stayed at his house, met all of his friends, really cool. I did it in London. I was at this American lady's house. I think she was 58, and she was really nice. And actually, so she was living there, and she told me, she gave me keys to the house, she gave me a cell phone, and she said, you know what, Elaine, I hope you don't think I'm rude, but I'm actually going on a date tonight. I don't know if I'm going to come home, so if I don't, I hope you don't think I'm rude. I'm like, no, it's like really cool. I did it in Colombia. I stayed 3 nights at a couch surfing home. He does lots of couch surfing, him and his wife. He lives 6 months in Cartagena, 6 months in Barcelona, and they're always hosting people. Where else have I done it? I did it in New Orleans. I was first at a guy's house where he actually was hosting another couch surfer, and we did a day sailing on Lake Pontchartrain. That was really cool. And then I went for my first time dumpster diving. Then I stayed at another couple's house. They were from Indiana, but they travel a lot and they've hosted a lot and couch surfed a lot, so they're just giving back to the community. I did it in Cuba. I did it in Havana. The lady was originally from Madrid, and she was a dance teacher and did theater, and the man was a painter, and they had 2 lovely sons, and one of them played the piano, and that was so nice. Surfing in New York, in Astoria, my friend Philip, and actually how I met him is I actually was hosting people from Australia at my house, and they were in New York, so they gave him as a contact, and I contacted him. I did couch surfing at his house. He was actually hosting another girl. She was from from Belarus. And last year when I went, I stayed at his house. So I actually consider him now I don't consider him a couch surfing host, I actually consider him a friend. And there's another thing with couch surfing, so they have different meetups. So when I was in New Orleans, there was a couch surfing picnic, and it was like a pre-Mardi Gras parade, and we had all of this like yummy, like everybody brought food. And sometimes if you can't host, when I haven't been able to provide like hosting at my house, sometimes people will reach out to you and they'll say, hey, do you want to just meet up for a coffee or a drink? So that's very common. I had a guy, his name was Pedro, and he was a pilot, and he was from Portugal. So I always used to laugh. I actually saw him a few times. So it was like PPP, Pedro the pilot from Portugal. There was a guy from Greece. I showed him around. So basically what I do is I do a guy from Argentina. So what I do is I do a walking tour, so from Toronto. So I love doing that. I love being a tour guide of Toronto. So that's how I participate in couch surfing. I actually took a break from couch surfing, and then I did, I switched and I went to like hostels. Why did I do that? Well, it's different depending on like where I want to go. Some hosts, they want to spend lots of time with you, and then, you know, they really want to be with you. And some hosts are cool. They're like, just like, you know what, here's the keys to my place. Some people don't give you their keys, just really depends. But some people are say, hey, like explore, do whatever you want. I'm just giving back to the community. So it just really depends. For some places that I wanted to go and travel and I wanted to film, sometimes I just want to go and I want to do that, so necessarily I'm limited for time and I don't want to do like all of the chit chat, but it really depends. I will continue couch surfing. If people contact me on couch surfing, I'm going to take them on tours and show my hospitality and my appreciation for it. I think it's an amazing community. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.